All right, good evening. I'm Joshua Weisel here in the Weather 225 Storm Studios, taking a look at your forecast for tonight and tomorrow across the region. We've got a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, and as you can tell behind me, even a chance for some warmer weather into tomorrow morning. Lows are going to start off anywhere from maybe some lower 70s all the way up into the lower 80s. So it's going to be a warm overnight. We're talking, warm and humid start to the day, especially in Oklahoma and in the River Valley. That's where those temperatures. It's going to be a warm start to the day tomorrow, to say the least. The good news is, and we'll get to the Foghorns morning fog outlook here in just a second, may not be dealing with a whole lot in terms of issues for the morning commute with reduced visibility, but there may be an opportunity for some rain. So let's go ahead and move on to the forecast for tomorrow. A couple degrees cooler in some locations. I think we're going to have maybe a little bit more cloud coverage in some locations because there's a chance for more scattered showers and thunderstorms. Now, today, you may have been wondering, in some areas, where's that rain that you talked about today? Well, we did have scattered showers and thunderstorms, parts of northeast Oklahoma, southwest Missouri, especially there, and in parts of northwest Arkansas. We did see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Like we said, it wasn't going to be widespread. It was only about 30 to 40% in terms of coverage. I think the forecast was pretty spot on, and it's going to be kind of the same thing tomorrow and again on Friday. Maybe a little bit higher rain chances tomorrow for some locations, and we'll show you why that is here coming up. Highs in the 90s and even some triple digits. For the remainder today into tomorrow morning, there is going to be a low end risk for maybe a couple strong to severe storms. It's highlighted for portions of southwest Missouri. And as we make our way forward here into the extended forecast in just a second, there's actually going to be another low end risk tomorrow that does include a little bit more of the coverage area. But for the next, several hours, overnight tonight, tomorrow morning through at least 7 in the morning, the algorithm and the Storm Prediction Center are highlighting kind of this area near Joplin where 49 and 44 meet. We're not expecting widespread severe weather. It's one of those things where you may get one or two storms that may reach strong to possibly just under or at severe limits. Main risks are going to be mostly large hail and some damaging winds. The overall rain probabilities as we go into tomorrow, a little bit better in some locations compared to today. So if you didn't see rain today, there's a chance you may or may not see rain tomorrow, but it's at least going to be a little bit higher rain chances compared to today for some locations. Again, we're not talking 100%. Not every single one of us is going to see rain or storms or anything along the lines there. There's a pretty good opportunity for some scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, and that leads us into our rain chances and totals. So notice the Weather Prediction Center, Climate Prediction Center, we'll have their outlook here in a second, but the Weather Prediction Center is showing that the rain totals could be anywhere from a couple tenths of an inch to maybe an inch of rain. Again, the good news is at least it's not going to be the widespread heavy rainfall and then localized flooding risk, right? There could be some areas that if you get some heavier rainfall, a little bit more localized, there may be some higher chances for maybe some localized flooding, but nothing significant. The bad news is with the drought that we're dealing with, we could use a little bit more rainfall than this. So hopefully we can get some more rain here in the horizon. The good news is with the warm and the humid conditions, we're really not talking any sort of fog issues. So for the Foghorns morning fog outlook tomorrow morning, we're not talking any sort of major impacts there for the morning commute. That's a look at the Foghorns morning fog outlook. Huge shout out to Foghorns. They are located in Northwest Arkansas. Be sure to support them like they support us. We really appreciate them sponsoring our channel, and it means a lot to us that they support the channel and that we have this little segment going for them. So be sure to support them like they support us. Coming up, here's that extended look at that forecast. We're going to be talking about future scan, that severe weather risk. It's low, so I don't want you to be afraid of it, but it is something to talk about, and your extended 7-day forecast coming up.
If you like our media and forecast, be sure to support us today on Patreon. Advertise with us this storm season and throughout the year. Contact us today for availability and pricing. Weather 225 since 2015.
All right, so we mentioned the drought, right? We're not going to spend too much time on this because there's been no changes here. We know that we've received a lot of viewership here recently, and you may be new to this, may work in agriculture. This may matter to you. And the reason we're highlighting this is there's been no change over the last couple of weeks. The drought's been pretty steady into the dry to abnormal, even moderate, slightly severe range, depending on the location. But we do have a potential for what we call a sudden onset drought over the next 2 weeks. And that means that, it could all of a sudden become more of a problem as we head into the next couple of weeks with the dry and the warm pattern on the way. So does that mean everyone's going to be an exceptional? No, it just means that there's going to be potentially a lot more areas included in drought conditions, whether it's dry to severe, and we'll just have to keep an eye on that. We'll let you know the very latest. So here's a look at the culprit. We mentioned this a little bit earlier. This is what's bringing those rain chances. And, unfortunately, this one's not going to be that great of a system because it's not going to bring us a drop in temperatures necessarily. It's also not going to bring us enough rainfall to help kind of defeat the drought. But this is really just stalled out over Kansas City. And notice in portions of northwest Oklahoma into southeast Kansas, it's getting close to our neck of the woods. But it's not going to fully make its way into the coverage area. It may clip parts of the coverage area, but it's going to slowly make its way further to the south between tonight and Friday, and then by the time we get later into the day on Friday, that system's going to retreat back up to the north and taking those rain chances with it potentially into the weekend. So there's going to be a low-end risk for maybe a couple of strong to severe storms tomorrow. We've got a chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms once again on Friday. Very, very low opportunity for parts of the area for some rain on Saturday, around 10%, and then we're dry after that. So this is what's bringing those rain chances if you're curious. Future scan radar, we're just going to kind of move right along with this and show you what the output is showing. And the reason I'm not going to spend too much time on this and I'm just going to let it roll is we've been mentioning this. This is a helpful tool to kind of show you what we could look at all the way into Friday morning. But I caution you, don't spend too much time looking at the exact areas on the map with this because it did not handle the activity today well. It did not handle any activity that we've seen in recent memory well when it comes to the isolated to scattered activity. And it's not doing a great job, and it's not going to do necessarily a great job, but we are going to show you there's rain chances on the board, right? And we're going to show you this, and this is the thing about our channels. We would love to be transparent with you. This is why our forecasts are ridiculously long some days, and I apologize if they're boring, but we want to make sure that we're upfront with you and we tell you everything that's going on. And simply, Future Scan's a helpful tool. We use it often, but we're not going to put all of our, we're not going to put all the bets on it because it's not the greatest tool. What it is going to show is it's not showing a whole lot of rain, and we can tell you, that's why we're saying the rain chances are a little bit bumped up tomorrow, just based off of our forecasting and our idea for tomorrow based off of, the knowledge that we have and everything along the lines there. And there's also going to be a low-end risk for maybe a couple strong to severe storms. It's very low. It's north of I-40. It does include portions of Oklahoma, Arkansas, southwest Missouri. What does this mean exactly? It doesn't mean that you should panic. It doesn't mean that you need to be overly worried. It just means that, we got an opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms. A couple of these could be on the stronger to maybe low-end severe side. And we just want you to stay tuned to the forecast. Maybe keep an eye on the radar tomorrow as well. If you're working outdoors, sports, anything along the lines there. Not necessarily for severe weather, but there could be some lightning in addition to this. The main risks that we've got for tomorrow are mostly going to be wind and hail. There's a low, very, very low end risk for maybe an isolated tornado with the activity later tonight, further to the east of our coverage area. But there's no highlighted risk from the Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow. But that's not to say it's not completely zero. But that's not our main concern with this. Moving on, here's a look at the allergens. Allergens are still a problem. As we've been mentioning, dust and dander are the highest. And if you're curious what that means, when you get into summer and you have the AC and you probably hear the fan in the background, we have to have a lot of air here because we've got all the lights in the studio and the computers. When you have a lot of the fans running and the AC constantly blowing, it leads to that dust getting blown around or, stuff that's in that AC kind of just blowing out with it. And in addition to that, dust mites love the heat. So there's more conditions favorable for dust. May start to be a little bit more dusty in your home. And that's why those conditions are more favorable for that. Extended temperature outlook, still above average for our neck of the woods over the next 8 to 14 days, And then we're starting to trend back into a little bit more of the normal to slightly above average range for parts of the area for precipitation over the next 8 to 14 days. So that's some good news. And we still have the potential for that sudden onset drought, but at least I have a little bit of hope because, we got some maybe normal rain chances back in the forecast. But after Thursday, Friday, within the 7-day range that we have now, no more rain opportunities after tomorrow and Friday at the moment. That's not to say, down the road, outside of the 7-day forecast, it may not be the chance. we'll keep an eye on it. We'll let you know the very latest. I will say Wednesday, there's a low end opportunity for some showers in parts of the area. We're not going to spend too much time looking into that here just yet because that's well a ways away. But the chance of rain will be there potentially. Next couple of days, only around 40%. We're really not expecting a whole lot higher than that because opportunities are going to be hit or miss. Not everyone's going to see rain. And personally, I held off of 60% for Friday in Northwest Arkansas just because I don't want someone to see 60 and think absolutely everyone's going to get it. There's this weird kind of, game that you have to play with forecasting where if it's scattered, you have to, decide the number, and numbers matter. A lot of people think, 60 means that, more and more people are going to see rain, and that includes you. It's not a guarantee. I'm keeping it there right around 40 for the moment just because, there's an opportunity that some of us see rain. There's an opportunity that we don't see rain in many areas. So kind of hit or miss opportunities for the next couple of days. And then the good news is, as of now, temperatures are going to be steadily into the upper 90s for many locations. And in the River Valley, upper 90s, maybe some triple digits. But the good news is it's not skyrocketing one day into 109, right, as it's looking right now. So at least it's going to be a little bit of a consistent pattern going forward. Same with eastern Oklahoma, very similar to the Arkansas River Valley. And then we got some low rain chances into Saturday. And then there's some of those rain chances that I mentioned for Wednesday, right around 10% right now for Wednesday. If you have a free weather app out there, and we're not criticizing any apps when I say this, but a lot of the ones, especially if it's a national weather app as well, it's going to show higher rain probabilities for Wednesday. And that's because it's picking up one specific model that forecasts that far out. It doesn't have a whole lot of human input, and it's one particular model. And then when you go and look at it maybe 6 hours from now, it's not going to show the same output at all. But there is the opportunity that a little system starts to arrive by the time we get to next week, and that may bring some rain chances with it. So that's a look at the forecast. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in.